dude. Jay Ellis, CP, the entire Knicks Nation. I love y'all, bro. I don't get to see the games down here in West Palm. Florida hates on New York. I don't.
What's up? Oh, I didn't fix the thing. Hold on. This is me, but what's up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Coast to Coast. There he is. Look at him go. Big War in full effect. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy CK, 2K, here for another episode. Brandon, are you muted?
Am I muted?
Oh, you were just silently giggling to yourself. I was gonna say, I was like, dang, he's laughing real quiet. But welcome back to episode 4 of Coast to Coast, new season of Coast to Coast. Your boy CK, B War in the building. You know what it is. Welcome back to another episode. You guys know what today's episode is. Today is the forever favorite, Brandon Warren's favorite, the chat's favorite. Today is who he play for episode. We playing who we play for later on tonight, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're also gonna be talking about, you know, Big Rona taking hold of the NBA and how that's affecting these teams and what's going on. Yeah, what's going on for the future of the NBA? Will it in fact be canceled? Even though it's being said that it won't be. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And we're actually going to lock in Brandon and mine standings for the very early predictions for the standings this year. For those who are new listening to the audio version or who are new to watching this, the way we do it every year is we're going to do standings this week, and next week we'll do predictions for awards and everything like that. And what we do is we put our early predictions, and then by All-Star break, we see if we want to tweak them a little bit, and then we see what we go with. And last year we implemented will we be going against you guys, the people in the chat. So we'll be also getting your guys' standings and see what you guys think as well. Now, I know the chat right now is going heavy on this Knicks game that just happened. And for that reason, you can see that I'm wearing my beanie with pride today. And I'm not talking about that team tonight because, look, man, at least my Saints got me a playoff win tonight. It started off ugly, but it ended off great. And the Knicks, on the other hand, boy, did we get smacked around by the Denver Nuggets. But we're going to talk about it in a second. But Brandon, how you doing, bro?
I'm tired. I've been ripping and running all over the place.
You've been farting everywhere? What you mean by ripping and running?
No. Like, I've been fulfilling that 2021 goal that, you know, I tweeted, but I didn't tweet about there's some changes being made. So I've been ripping and running, doing that all today, and some
grinding. You grinding?
Yeah.
For you, what you don't have to tell us what. But like
for the channel, for me, for Coast to Coast.
Say no more. That's all I need to hear. I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, my homies are grinding. That's what I love to hear. That's what I love. That's what I want to hear. Okay, say no more. We'll wait. I'm a patient man. I will wait. That's all I need to hear. That's what we need to hear. Shout out to the chat. As always, guys, shout out to the number one person who's in here first. And today, that goes to Agent Super R. Go shout out to you saying, bruh, nobody helped Randall tonight except for Mitch. Yep, well, like I said, I'm not talking about that stupid game tonight. Denver Nuggets took a hold of us and they smacked us around and then threw us right back. It was they bullied us. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Taylor Bolshoi. I didn't say her name right. Shout out to my man Noah. Clutch B-Ball TV. My man is the biggest RJ Barrett hater, and he's hating in the chat. Still love you though, bro. Keep with the content. Ghetto, what's good? MH, my guy. Tyler Jones. Lucas, Splash It. What's going on, everybody? Edgar Allan Fro, the resident Sixers fan. I'm going to let you guys get sorted. I know there's other shows going on, so if you guys are coming in here, watching this after fact, watching the VOD, appreciate you guys for coming here. If you listen to the audio-only version, I appreciate you there as well. And if you're with us live, you know what it is. We love you nonetheless. But Brandon Warren, we got a big show today. Got a lot going on today. Today's Coast to Coast Day.
Today is not a very good day for me. Because y'all get to free shots at me, laughing at me, poking fun at me, and you know, it's not fun when I can't do it back. So Chris, how dare you put me through this again? I thought we were done last year. I didn't know we were picking this back up. I understand that people want this, but we ain't always got. Why can't we just be like politicians and not follow suit?
Be about us, right? Forget the people. Exactly. We gotta do what we want. Yeah, man. F the people, man. F the people. I got bad news. That's not how it works over here. Now we are here for the people today. Clearly. And yeah, so coast to coast, we'll be bringing in who we play for later. And I saw my man MH asking if I'm gonna bring the Family Feud voice. Yes, the voice is coming in full effect. We got music. It's gonna be the full thing. We're gonna be having fun. We're gonna be having fun today. But we got to start off with the craziness going on in the NBA right now. Now, I'm not gonna break down who had it first, where it started, and now it's spreading, and this, that, and the third. But the point of the matter is, the NBA is back. We did get the NBA back December 22nd. Before we even got to that point, there was murmurs that it would be starting up at around this time of the year, because they want to prevent, what is happening right now from happening. Right. But we decided to start the league on the 22nd. And now with that being what it is, we're having some cases of Rona happening around the league, which, as you know, as we saw at the NFL, it's not like last March. We see a case and then the league's getting canceled. It's not that way. There's protocols and there's safety precautions, stuff that's happening with these teams. So we're seeing, players that were either connected or around somebody who was infected. They're missing games. And of course, obviously, if you contracted the virus, then you're not going to be playing for a certain amount of time. Blah 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 blah. So that's the common sense portion of it. But the Philadelphia 76ers got hit pretty hard. I'm not gonna. We heard of Seth Curry first. We heard of Seth Curry first being the one with what's going on, and then
guys, how's it going?
Yeah, boy. And the thing is, what's crazy is not this man was waiting on his test. But the thing is, he wasn't waiting his test at his house or in his apartment or in his hotel. Nah. This man was waiting on the bench with his team before he even got back his test, to then find out mid-game that he, in fact, was positive for Big Rona, and then he was escorted while he was already shooting around. There was pictures of him with the mask down and so on and so forth. So because of that, it led to the point where the Sixers were so short on players, where everybody was out, where they did not meet the quota of having enough players, and the game was postponed today. But there's so many other cases, and like I mentioned earlier, Edgar Allan Fro is probably really pissed off about it, because Embiid came out and said what he had to say and believes that they're being targeted. And look, my man Edgar saying me and all my Sixer fans hate Adam Silver. Yeah, we saw Joel Embiid post some tweets. He's really pissed off as well. But yeah, it makes sense, because other teams they're coddling and handling a little bit more safely. But then when it came to the Sixers, they got all these players out of the game, and they're still like, nah, we can still run it. It's not a big deal. Let's get it. It's one thing with the Rockets. The Rockets situation was completely different. That was injuries. This one is with the. I thought it was.
Okay,
it was. They were missing. They were missing John Wall. They're missing Boogie, and they're missing
James Harden.
Right, but no, James Harden played, and they're missing three other. I can't remember the other players, but.
When they had to postpone the first game, right?
They didn't pull. Oh, they did, huh? You're right. Yeah. They did, but they did it right away. That was the thing, and they weren't gonna do it right away with the Sixers. They waited till the last second to finally, eventually, grant the Sixers with the postpone. Grant the Sixers like it's a, like a big old gift from the NBA. But anyways, Brandon, the point of the matter is, specifics be damned when it comes to who's out, who's missing, this, that, and the third. The point of the matter is, what do you?
No, we're not canceling the season. No. No. We don't get to play that card twice. No, I don't want to hear no smack. No.
So let me play devil's advocate before we continue. So you don't think? So that's the argument. The argument is thinking that it's going to get worse before it gets better. So at this point, count your losses and cancel the season, or if not even canceling, postpone the season. And you think that we shouldn't do that?
No. Why?
Why not?
What's holding? We have lived with this virus for an entire year. Believe it or not, y'all. It's only been 1 year, not 10 years. 1 year. All right. There's reasons why we have safety protocols. We have quarantine, dedicated certain amount of time, so on and so forth. So what's the point of shutting down a season? That's now, if somebody had died from COVID, which I don't find likely any of these players do die from COVID, that's a
Hopefully.
different story.
Right.
These are world-class athletes, and I do not anticipate them getting a strand of big Rona, passing away, unfortunately, or too soon, or whatever the case may be. But we have all lived with this virus for quite some time now. So if we want things like basketball, like we've all been dying for since March all the way up until July, or some type of football entertainment, whatever the case may be, these are stuff that we got to do. And for you to cancel the season because one team got infected and did something really dumb, mind you. I'm gonna come sit on the pitch.
And that's what my argument was going to be, because in that same time, though that may be true, but the fact of the matter is that some of these teams might not be handling it the best, like that 76er situation, because I feel like common sense would tell you, if you don't have a result back, negative or positive, that person should not be with the squad right now. You know what I'm saying? They should not be out there in workouts until okay, they're fine. So for that reason and stuff like that, and those mistakes and whatnot, that doesn't make you think that. And I'm not saying full cancellation, because I don't see that happening. We saw Woj say that that's not going to happen. But even like a postponement, do you see that? Do you think that should be considered? That should be in the cards, or are you sticking to no?
It's already a consideration as far as postponing games. It happened with the Rockets.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about league wide, not just teams. League wide,
yeah,
league pausing for like a month and then coming back.
What is there to pause for? Because there's going to be another surge. That's literally happening because of what the holidays were. Yeah. My thing is, if the NFL can do it and they have 3 times as many players, why can't we be able to maintain this? You got coaching staff, which could equally equate to a football team, and the NFL is doing just fine right now. Obviously, can't say that for the Browns, as half of their team is depleted, but whooping whole lots of butt right now. And, the NFL has found a way to make it work. I just don't think that the NBA needs to be like, all right, man, this is bigger than we thought. We need to take this away. Only time that would be a big concern is if somebody's hospitalized and they're in critical care. Then that's when the narrative, the mindset needs to be switched. Outside of that, it doesn't make sense that we need to postpone the season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, coming from the NBA, what they're saying from one of the spokespeople from the NBA, Mike Bass, he was saying, talking about going into this and coming to the situation that we're in right now with the league. He was saying that we anticipated that there would be game postponements this season and planned the schedule accordingly. Hence the fact that only half of the schedule was released and the second half was not released yet. He said there are no plans to pause the season, and we will continue to be guided by our medical experts and health and safety protocols, which is what we're seeing right now. And then we know that they're hoping to get access to vaccinations and this, that, and the third. I think this is tricky. I agree with you to an extent. My thought is I do feel like there's no point of a postponement in the league itself because of what you said. Regardless of if you stop it, you pause now and start back in a month, 2 months, what's going to change between now and then as far as any surges? That I know Rona's definitely not going to be cured in those 2 months. That's a fact. I just feel like the teams cannot be lazy and skip steps in the process. I feel like that's one of the biggest things. I mean, there's only so much you can control, obviously, because we're not in a bubble environment. They're controlling the fact that you can't go back and see family when you go to home states and stuff like that outside of your own family that you're with every day or whatever, blah blah blah. But I just feel like it's a it's not quite catch-22, but it's one of those things like, yeah, damn if you do, damn if you don't, because of what we're going through right now. I wouldn't say to the extent that like we have to wait for something drastic to happen before we make any changes. I just feel like we need to be way more proactive with this. I feel like at first I felt like the NBA was doing a good job at being proactive with the entire thing, but then seeing the pictures of Seth Curry and hearing the actual details of what happened with the Sixers and stuff like that, that's not a good look. And then, mind you, then the decision that was made with the team, which I feel like played a big part in it, because it's almost like the NBA was trying to discipline the team for not being completely smart with handling the situation. I feel like that was almost like their discipline, like you did this on your guys' self. So yes, you're playing with 8 players tonight. I just feel like there's just so many things, there's so many loose ends that they thought they had figured out that they don't entirely have figured out yet. So it's hard for me to answer this question. Do I believe that the league should be canceled or postponed? I'm not there yet.
No.
But I do feel like that there's a we're still about 75% safe compared to the full 100, and I feel like it comes down to every other team, because there's teams that are doing well with the precautions. But at the same time, I mean, who knows if there's a connection from every team at some point, because now we're slowly starting to see like the Celtics are getting affected. You know, like we just mentioned with the Sixers, you know, Kevin Durant was missing games. Like, it's slowly coming down to a lot of the teams and a lot of the players, whether it is controlled completely or not. I don't know. It's just a fine line that we got to figure out, and we got to remember that this is a real thing, and we're not only just protecting the players and spreading it amongst the league. We're trying to prevent spreading it from players to other people that they're around in normal life. So we don't want the NBA to be responsible for it going out to the regular population, civilization. You know what I mean? So that's why
contact.
Exactly. So it's just such a fine line, such a hard situation for not just the NBA, but for these teams to figure out. And that's why I don't entirely have the full answer right away. I don't think it is something that we should be just fully canceling the entire thing yet, because like you mentioned, NFL had a really rough patch, but then they got through that, and then there was a lot of good that went with the NFL, and a lot of negatives that were coming around, which is what, you know, after the surges that they're having. I mean, right now, you know, like you mentioned, the Browns are having this. I don't know. It's just hard. It's really hard. It's
hard, yeah. But if we want sports, if we want basketball, if we want soccer, if we want all these things to be able to resemble something of normal day life before the virus was even a thing, there's going to be sacrifices on everybody's part, you know? And so that's the only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, is because I love basketball. Everybody inside this chat that are you and I, Chris, talking, everybody loves basketball, whether ranges from high to low, whatever the case may be. These dudes that are playing basketball are phenomenal athletes. They are also professional athletes. So every season they have a, this is what happens. This is what the protocol is, so on and so forth. All of them signed up saying, all right, we understand the guidelines of what the NFL or NBA is going to be, or NFL, and we're going to follow those rules. They have to sign something, or they have to give some kind of agreement. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. It's not that I don't care about some basketball players' health. Trust me, if we lose another basketball player, the world itself might overturn, you know. But what I'm saying is we're able to find and tweak and somehow be able to live with this virus. I've gone through it. Other people that I know have gone through it, and we've all had different symptoms, different feelings, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So if we're able to manage that and be able to follow what does work, we should be okay. We had a whole entire bubble that showcased that if you follow protocols,
and that's the other thing, and that's the other thing that's coming up. Do we And that's, like, I understand it's a good conversation to have, and people are thinking like, do we then set up another bubble? But people don't realize how expensive it was to put together that bubble just for those 22 teams. Is my math
22.
right? Yeah, those 22 teams that were in the bubble. Then again, you're trying to do it now for all 30 teams. Like, that's going to be very expensive for the league, and I don't know if that's something that Silver and everybody upstairs are going to be willing to put money in for on that. My other question too is, I want to know what the players are thinking. What are their thoughts on this entire thing? Like, do they feel safe continuing to play with everything going on right now? Because we know the situation with Karl-Anthony Towns and how he's feeling about it, but he did end up choosing to continue because he could have sat out. He could have sat out, which I think a lot of people were expecting from him to do. But he chose to come back and play, and this is before the injury and blah blah blah. So there's so many aspects to it that I'm just so curious about, and I'm really curious to see how this develops as the week goes on, because there's like I said a few minutes ago, this is one thing, like, you know, to be spreading it amongst the players, but I'm just worried more so than where it comes from outside of just the NBA. Like, it's one thing, you know, if this player caught it from this player, but then they're going home and then it's going to this person that's going to a supermarket that's going with this body and this, that, and third, because that's the biggest thing we need. We want this to stop. We don't want to completely adapt to this as a whole. We want it to stop. And at what point then does the NBA become responsible for a lot of that? So I'm not ready to say it's time to cancel and postpone and stop the entire league. But at the same time, I do think there's the conversation that needs to be had. And for that report to come out from the NBA and saying that it's not happening, we're going through it, blah, blah, I think I'm a little like, okay with that. I do think there should be a conversation still, whether it is a pause or I think there needs to be a conversation because, like I said, the main difference between this and the NFL is a lot of the NFL teams play in open stadiums. So you have that bit of control compared to these closed gyms that these guys are playing in every single night. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different factors between the NFL and the NBA. So I don't know. Like I said, there's just so many things to factor in with this, because this is a real issue that's on outside of just the basketball world that we have to think about.
And it always will be until we find, you know, a permanent cure to get that stuff to.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's I don't know.
It's always going to be a touchy subject. Hence why politics have been very, you know, one side or the other side. But all I'm saying is if we're going to go through this, which I think it's very capable, I think it is something that you can necessarily do. You're just going to have to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
And some people are willing to sacrifice a lot and go down that path. Some people know how to draw their line, and that's it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what Chris is talking about. That conversation is like, when is that line for everybody? Where is that final? Yeah, let's stop. You know, let's not continue any further because it's getting a little bit out of hand. And that time will come. I don't know when. Maybe sooner rather than later. Maybe later rather than sooner. But it has been easily proven, the bubble itself, that if you follow protocol and you're serious about basketball as a professional athlete, it works. But again, it's a big sacrifice.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I was just to say, the big sacrifice. And like I said, I know the NBA, even though they won't spend the money because it's a very expensive thing to do. There's a lot, like I said, there's so many factors, but then you got to realize, especially if this does end up getting worse than it has been, the conversation has to be had and the thought has to be had, like, all right, maybe we should be putting a pause on this because we're not making it any better with what's going on within the real world outside of just our NBA life, NBA bubble. We're not helping the actual world with having our players and these people spreading, because like we said, we just the beginning of the season We talked about James Harden, who was flying back and forth from place to place at these parties, no mask, and stuff like that. And this is a superstar that we're going to be following around. What about those Joe Schmoes that we don't care about that are in the league? There's so many players in the league. There's other players that have that mindset of, I don't need no mask. You don't need me to do this. Like, look at guys like Michael Porter Jr., who exposed himself quite a few times in the bubble, you know? So it's like those kind of people that, and speaking of which, it's funny, I even bring him up, because look at him. This dude is in, like, forever purgatory because of the same situation. I don't know. There's so many things that the league needs to think about, and I feel like, you know, for that tweet to come out from Woj, I'm just a little like, so we go with this. We just gonna ride it out. Like, we don't have, without a plan. Like, I'm cool. If you want to try and ride it out, cool. But it sounded like you guys just like, oh, we got this. Let's just keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I guarantee that the NBA is just looking at it as like, all right, small mishap for a what's the cliche? Small mishap for a bigger gaining, or whatever the
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
So
there's an actual saying for that. I can't think of it. I know what you mean. I know what you're saying.
The Sixers got screwed over the most because that's the most recent.
They did. They did. It's a bit 50-50 on me with the Sixers. I'm sorry, Edgar, because at the same time, for that, I find it wild that they still like to know. I don't care if he was negative yesterday. If you got your test back for everyone else on the team, but Seth's test didn't come back yet. Well, he was negative yesterday. You should be fine, Seth. Go out. It's okay. Go warm up with them. We just want to suit you up just in case. Just go ahead. We'll be fine. We'll let you know when it's done. Then if it's positive, then we'll come back. We'll figure it out then. That was my problem with the whole entire thing with the Sixers. Yeah. But
that's from inside. That's not anything that the NBA has no control of. Like, if your organization is not taking the virus serious, or they're not testing properly, or they're not doing X, Y, and Z, as far as testing protocol, then who's the fault to blame? You know,
right.
I get that you can be upset that he still was like, yep, you guys got to play. You still got to play the game, and it might be punishment.
That's how I looked at it as that. But I get, like Edgar was saying, and I get Sixers fans of like why they're upset. But I looked at it as like, you're damn right, y'all playing out there with 7 players and Dwight Howard as your point guard. We saw the videos and we saw the photos. Yeah, this is your fault. Like, now we have other teams being affected by this. Your ass is going to go out there and get beat by 43 points. That's not our problem. Take care of yourself. Like, so I saw it as a punishment. I was just like, But I get it. I also do sympathize with Sixers fans, not the team. Fans, I get that standpoint, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyways, salute to the chat. It's just an interesting conversation, and I feel like I'm of all of this, like I said, I'm really curious to hear what the players are thinking and what's going on behind the scenes with the players. I want to know what they're thinking. Yeah, we heard the NBA. We heard what they said loud and clear.
We heard it during the bubble.
Right. So I want to hear them now with this going on. I mean, this is early. Technically, this is early on with everything going on, because now it's just starting to spread from this team to that team, and this team missing players and that. So now I want to hear what the players have to say about it. But
absolutely,
we'll see.
Me too.
We'll see. Pal speaking a lot. I see you in the chat, pal. But he said, what if they find teams for endangering players with poor protocol enforcement? I thought that was a given. I thought that was a given.
I thought that's what they were doing.
I mean, right, me too, but obviously not, because look what's going on. I thought that was a given. But
wasn't
then
it like some egregious number,
that's what I thought,
10% or something like that.
And I feel like that.
I thought I heard something,
but no, you didn't see that. We didn't see that with the Rockets, and we damn sure didn't see it with the Sixers. I don't know, man.
Well, James Harden lucked out because the game was canceled.
I don't care, bro. Yes, you're right. I don't, but at the same time, we all know. Stop. We don't have to be doctors to know. Like, come on now. That was the craziest part. All that happened, and he came out negative. Like, that's what makes me even more upset. Like, whatever. But whatever.
Oh man.
See, Delano. Yeah, that's probably true too. Delano's saying the players aren't thinking, and that's the problem. Yeah.
Thinking in what, like it's that serious because I'm a World Cup
I think
athlete,
it's
and if
the
I
all the
get it,
above.
it's like, oh, okay.
I think it's all of it. I think they're not thinking like. I think they're like, because even the guys, some guys admit it. They're like, this can't affect me. Like this, I do this, that, and the third. This won't affect me. Blah blah blah. The players were saying that in the bubble, and then they're realizing as they're in the bubble how serious this really is and why this is going on, why all these are taking place. But at the same time, like I said, there's a lot of Joe Schmoes that we do not know about that know that they're under the radar and can care less. Like, yo, I don't need to wear no mask. MAGA country, baby. Like, there's a lot of people that are gonna be out there that we don't know about. Unfortunately. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That just brought me back to Wednesday.
Brought you back to what?
Brought me back to Wednesday.
No, yeah, no. Oh my God. Yeah.
Great day in American history.
I was and I was so mad at first with the Celtics. I don't mean to bring this back up because that was the most embarrassing. Anyways, I was so upset with the Celtics at first when I heard that they were protesting. I'm like, protesting what? There's nothing that needs to be protested. What's going on right now? What we're seeing, that's not a protest either. So what are you you're protesting the fact that what do you protest? And then when eventually I saw Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, I was like, oh God, all right.
Yeah,
I apologize. My bad, my fault. You're protesting the fact that this is okay. I got you. I'm with you. Because at first I was just like, of all teams, the Celtics. Of course it would be the Celtics. Boston, Massachusetts. Of course it would be Celtics. Anyways. Enough controversial subjects for right now.
Came out with the
heat. Please let me know thoughts on everything in the comments below, and definitely in the chat. We're seeing you guys in the chat right now, trying to respond to stuff in the chat. But I'm also, speaking of which, I'm also seeing some craziness in the chat. Talking about, this man said, Jay Mamba saying, join the Warriors CK2K. That's not happening, bro. That's not happening. And then Powell over here trying to put the Knicks losses on me because I didn't go live since Wednesday. Look, I'm responsible for Wednesday. I'm responsible for Wednesday Night Knicks, pal. That's the show. It's Wednesday Night Knicks. I'm not gonna do every game. Maybe at some point, but right now all I can handle is Wednesday Night Knicks, just for now. Whenever the Knicks play on Wednesday. What's up?
Did you label yourself as a curse on?
We're not cursed. We're 1-1. We're not a curse. We're officially not a curse. We broke that. If we had gone 0-2, I would have started writing down the label. I would have. We're 1-1. We're 1-1. We're not a curse. I don't care. We are not a curse. We'll see how it goes at the end of the season, but right now we're not a curse. We're 1-1.
When are you gonna be able to determine that you are cursed or not? Is it?
If say
1-5?
I don't know how many games are on a Wednesday, but if we're like 1-6, 1-8, or something crazy like that, yeah, Wednesday night. I told him, I was like, Wednesday night Knicks is gonna be canceled, and we're gonna change to like Saturday or some other day. So whenever the Knicks play on Saturday, I'll live stream or some other day because Wednesday is not it. But no, we went 1-1. I got the Nets game on Wednesday for Wednesday Night Knicks. We'll see how that goes. Especially with how they've been playing late. I don't know, man. No, we're not cursed. Wednesday Night Knicks is not cursed. Wednesday Night Knicks is not cursed. I'm sure the players are exactly like this chat. Some want to postpone it, some want to go. 100%. I think yeah. The players aren't thinking. That's what we saw that Delano. Players are thinking. Players take things for granted and forget the NBA is a job. That's facts. Yeah. So yeah, let's move off with that. But like thoughts, I hear you guys. Like I said, yeah, it's a big thing. I just don't want it to fall on the wayside. I do think it's something that needs to be talked about because I just feel like this is the beginning. I think we're gonna be seeing other tests coming back positive because of mishandling. I think that's just it's gonna be a given. But when it gets too out of hand, where we got multiple teams having to consider playing with 8 players, we gotta start having that conversation. That's all I'm saying.
I think this is the worst it'll probably get, just because.
Let's hope.
We just had the holidays.
Let's hope.
And people were all getting together.
Especially Paul George and the Clippers, right? Oh, sorry, Clipper fan. I didn't mean to do that. I'm not the Laker. I'm not a Clipper hater. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. That was so mean. That was so unnecessary for me. So unnecessary. What are we talking about next? Oh, well, a perfect segue into the next subject, which is talking about injuries. Now, we talked about, Rona on one hand, but then also on top of that, we are also seeing a lot of injuries going on in the league right now, whether it is to your superstar player to just your Joe Schmo player or to your core player. One of Brandon's favorite players just got hurt for his favorite team, the Washington Wizards. Thomas Bryant. That's a big loss for them because he's like the Energizer Bunny for that team, and he's actually pretty reliable for that squad, even though they're not a winning team in my opinion, and we're seeing that firsthand. But a lot of these, we're seeing a lot of injuries. Marcus Fultz, Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz. Sorry, I had Marcus Colston on my head. I don't know why. Markelle Fultz. We saw his injury happen. There's two other players that are escaping my mind right now. Big players that just got big injuries. Anyways, but yeah, we'll use for them right now. We'll use the sake of argument. We'll use Markelle Fultz and we use Thomas Bryant, guys that Achilles injuries. Now, this is something that we were kind of skeptical about going into the season. Rona aside, because of the short turnover, do you think? And we kind of saw this in the NFL as well. Because of the same situation, because of the lack of training camps and lack of this and lack of the same old preseason and stuff, right? We saw a lot of players get hurt early on in the season. Saquon, a lot of players were going down the NFL, but now with the NBA, it's a bit different, but also the same because even some of these bubble teams that came over had a shorter turnaround, but also teams that missed a bunch of months didn't have a summer league or they didn't have a real training camp to really work into the mix, or even if with the training camp they had, it was shortened and blah 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 blah. So with the injuries that we're seeing now, do you think that this is a trend, an unfortunate trend that we're going to be seeing, where we'll be seeing some of the key players get hurt, or is this just same old and we're just seeing players get hurt and it's just how the game works? Do you think that it's somewhat connected to how a weird of a start that we had this year?
I think a lot of it has to come back to how weird of a start. You got to remember, a lot of these players, a lot weren't in the bubble, so they weren't continuously playing basketball for from July all the way on to October and so on and so forth. So a lot of these teams didn't play real competitive basketball since last March. So how many months is that?
Too many. 9? 9, yeah.
That's 9 months.
Yeah, it was exactly 9 because because when we ended March, whatever.
Yeah, that's 9. So you're going from non-contact shell, we can call them shell drills, to all of a sudden I have to go 110% on this move because whatever I need to get by this guy or the offensive play is set up for this, whatever the case may be. Not having that proper 2 weeks to a month of being able to prepare for a 72 game season, if that. I'm sorry, stuff is gonna break down a little bit more often than not. Obviously you have your average, what is it? It happens once or twice in the NBA where in training camp someone gets hurt. NFL, they'll have maybe 5 to 10 players. And it's like, that's like the norm. It's unfortunate, but it's the norm. We've all gotten accustomed to it. But a lot of these key players are now getting hurt, and it's like, geez.
And on top of that, we're also seeing, and I mean, to be expected, but we're also seeing key players taking off more time. Outside Kawhi Leonard out here trying to prove a point, saying that I will no longer miss every back-to-back this season. He's coming out saying that, but we're seeing like the Russell Westbrooks, who to me feels like he's playing every other game. A lot of these like star players and whatnot, because of the quick turnaround, they're choosing to take some more games off more than before. And we already knew that was already going to be a thing. The whole game, what is it called? Load management, excuse me. We already knew that was going to be a thing, and that was something that was coming up a little bit more last season. But now, with the turnaround, with, like you mentioned, some of these teams that did not, the 8 teams that did not get in, a lot of these guys coming from teams that did get in, especially the bigger guys, are continuing to play. Now, with that argument, too, I also want to ask, because sorry, Brandon, I have not watched any Laker games. I've watched highlights, but I've not seen any Laker game this season. It's not out of hate. I just have not seen them. LeBron, of the games you played, LeBron James has played how many games, though? He played the majority of them, right?
All of them.
Yeah. So
he's played all of them.
So I don't know. So I'm just curious on that situation because the Russell Westbrook one is the one to me that's a little bit curious. I don't know if he just has bum knees and he's just trying to be concerned with them, but with the team,
didn't Russ had a serious injury in the bubble, right?
Did he?
I could have sworn right before he was playing, he had Rona, and then he had some kind of significant injury that didn't allow him to play those 8 games. I could have sworn. I'm like 80% positive that that was the case.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's been missing a lot of games because of his quad. That was the biggest thing. I don't know if that was the same one. Someone in the chat, please correct us if that's the fact. I don't remember that. But yeah, I remember he was missing he was missing games this season for the quad. But this is a nagging injury he has had: is quad, knees, blood, so on and so forth.
I think a lot of it if we're specifically talking about Russ, I think a lot of it has to come down to that. Again, not having proper facilities or not being able to just go to your go-to facility and being able to work out with your go-to trainer or whatever the case may be under, big Rona issues or time slots or scheduling issues or whatever the case may be, you're already off your schedule. Not to mention on top of the 71 days of rest. Russ got a little bit more because we sent him home. But anyways, besides the point. It's definitely a contributing factor. Now, mind you, Russ is getting older. He is not necessarily spring chicken anymore. He's 31, right?
Is he that? I think he was 32. Let's
31,
32 years old.
Okay. So he's getting up there. I can see the decline coming slowly but surely.
It's inevitable.
Father time is undefeated.
He's
but
on his way.
Never got the memo. LeBron never got the memo.
LeBron just ain't reading his mail. I ain't mad at him. I don't read my
email
mail
or it.
Nah, he put that thing in his spam, bro. I ain't even mad at him for that.
But it's. I think a lot of it has to do with ramping it up very quickly. He had an injury while he was in the bubble. Kind of had to play on it just to give his team a fighting chance. And now he has to be that
disrespectful.
Look,
you did not have to be that disrespectful. He said, like, you did not have to do all that.
They had one game. They had one game. They had one game. Anyways, Chris, this besides the point, man. That's
you are just get your point out, bro. I hate you.
Like I said, it's just a lot of things. So, Russ, a lot of things and age. And I think it's going to be more common occurrence that we're going to see Russ doing things like this where he's not necessarily playing back-to-backs, unfortunately. I wish he would find the Fountain of Youth. Matter of fact, does Phoenix still have that Fountain of Youth somewhere?
I mean, remember, Chris Paul looking spry as hell. No, I remember that. Grant Hill, who was having all these injuries, people were thinking he was going to retire, and he just went to Phoenix, and all of a sudden he was just giving them admirable minutes. Vince Carter was another one. I mean, I feel like Phoenix was the one that gave him some more career. I remember Phoenix it was just so funny and so weird. Shaq. A lot of players getting
being able to rehab very, very well. I don't know what's going on over there. They got some stuff, the secret sauce, as Shaq would say.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the Knicks, the whole Knicks organization is hurt. We have our rookie Obi Toppin, who got a calf injury. We know that those could be very serious, so they're being preventive with him. He's missing damn near the entire season. Our whole team is hurt. And that's just one example. And we can go down the list from team to team. Just a lot of injuries this year. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is it? Like, what is the reason, to all these damn injuries?
Ramping it up so fast. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you that's like 80-90% of the reason why.
Yeah, probably. But before we move
y'all
on.
When y'all gonna see Obi? Like, when?
He got evaluated 2 days ago. Right now he's finally doing 5-on-5s. Hopefully sometime this week. We'll see. But even then,
It is a calf injury. You're right. So I
you gotta be careful, bro. You gotta be careful. Anyways,
Hopefully.
Delano saying, I'm glad we weren't suckered into going for Westbrook in a trade. How many games did the Wizards win this season? They are 2-7. Why do I know that on top of my head? Because I'm a Wizards hater. Russ is one of my favorite players, even when he sucks. Respect. Brandon is cap-tastic, Laker-tastic. MH going after you.
That's fine. That's fine. How many titles you got?
I hate him. Powell said these new shoes just ain't built the same. That could be it too. That could definitely be it too.
Were the old school Converse back where you lace them up all the way up to your shin?
Need to bring it back. God. But yeah, I don't know. Just something to think about. But before we get into the show that everybody is waiting for, who we play for. It is that time of the year where Brandon and I will make our way too early predictions for the Western and Eastern Conference. Now, again, like I mentioned at the top of the show, with us, we put our early predictions out, shoot for the win, and then mid-season, we'll tweak them a little bit, and then we'll see who has the most accurate standings of the two. Last year, we incorporated you guys in this, so after I show you guys Brandon and mine, my predictions, then we'll see what the chat is saying, and then we'll lock in the chat's prediction for the season. So, that being said, we are going to start off with Wars the World. Let me see if I can get it up here first. But Brandon, feeling pretty confident about your standings, my guy?
As long as we don't discuss the Wizards anymore, yeah, I'm very confident. They lost the heart and soul,
man. The heart and soul. That's what you calling them. You calling him the heart?
That's what Skip. I'm sure Skip Bayless was make something up like that. So I'm just sticking with what that man said. He's never wrong.
You can't even say that with a straight damn face. Hold on, y'all. I'm pulling up the standings, and yes, for my audio listeners, I will definitely be saying it so you guys can hear it back there as well. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Bop, that's the Lakers. That's not what we need. Hold on, y'all. Is it Bop? Nope.
Chat. Infamous. Who we pick on? Yes, it's B War. You hate to see it. The former Bullets. Yo, I was so I thought Russ still had it, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. I swear Russ still had it. And he still showed glimpses of it. The man was still getting triple doubles. I didn't realize how bad that team was. Okay, I didn't realize that. Like, they all have capable players in the future, but not necessarily right now.
Right.
So that's my bad. I it happens. We all have that one pick that's just like, nah, don't make any. Like, there's a few people out in the world that thought Austin Day was going to be a great player.
Oh, my God.
Wonder where these people are.
Forever bring that up. You are the only person that talks about that man, Austin Day. It is 2021, and you still bring this man up, man. Remember, Austin Day, people were thinking that he was going to be great. People were saying he was going to be, yo, Austin Day. Didn't he still was kicking at, like, that first summer league that we went to, wasn't he? He was still kicking.
I would not be surprised.
I felt like he was, and we were just both surprised to see him. So, anyways, Brandon, we got your predictions up. I edited it down. We're both blocking extra predictions, so I'm gonna have to move our faces here in a second. But Brandon,
yes,
Bob, these are the Wars World predictions. Way too early predictions for the chat. We have for the Western Conference, we have Brandon saying that the Clippers will be in first place, Lakers in second, Jazz in third, Mavericks in fourth, Blazers in fifth, Nuggets in sixth, Suns at 7, and Warriors at 8. Oh, I didn't fix the Wizards for you. We'll fix it in post. And for the Eastern Conference, he has Celtics in first, Bucks at second, Sixers at third, Nets at fourth, Heat fifth, Pacers sixth, Magic 7, and the Hawks, not the Wizards, the Hawks at 8. Chat, speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm letting you guys see it real quick, and then I'm going to bring us both back up because we're going to be blocking the thing. But, Yeah. What are you guys thinking?
I'm fairly confident with more so of the West side.
You feel
The
really
East is
confident
going
with
to
him?
be huh?
You feel really confident about him?
Yeah, I feel a lot more confident with my West now. Now looking at it again, I think Mavericks 4 just because I don't know when we're gonna get the unicorn back.
You need it. That name needs to go. That name needs to go.
And the Blazers, they do this every year, and it's so annoying. Whether they get they got what they needed.
They don't know
this
how
year.
to start good. Yeah.
They needed to get more athletic at their wings, and they did that. And they were starting off strong, and then I don't know what happened. Like they played the Warriors and just kind of fell off.
Kinda.
So I don't know what their deal is. So I feel like 5 might be interchangeable for them with the Nuggets. Nuggets, I still think they lost some good rotational players for them, and I don't think Michael Porter Jr. is that savior for them, I guess, for those 2 key rotational players that they lost.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No. That man
I'm not
is a
disagreeing.
defensive liability.
100%. That man moves like his back hurt. Funny
No.
enough. So Brandon, so the few things we have to talk about with your standings, and I'm waiting for the chat is very perplexed on your Clippers choice. But you have
Clippers are motivated this year, man.
You have the Suns dropping to 7, while the Suns have been playing really well right now. I care to speak on that.
Big Rona's still alive, and last time I checked, CP3 hasn't played a full healthy season in quite some time.
And you don't think this is the year, even though we just talked about the founding youth in Phoenix?
You know, I still think he's gonna have the fountain youth. Don't mean he's gonna be playing every game. I could be totally wrong. I'll be wrong for the rest of my life. So, if the Suns move up, the max I see it being is 5, the max. Okay. And that's no disrespect. I just think that they're a young team and still trying to figure it out in some cases. Booker is still, highlight better than Klay Thompson, and he's nice. But last time I checked, basketball is a team sport. So hopefully everybody else just brings it in together and stays healthy for them. Clippers are motivated this year to be a number 1 seed.
And that's all you're giving them. They ain't gonna do nothing else with it.
That's all I'm giving them. That's about it. Like, still the redheaded stepchild. Always will be.
DOWNLAOD, you said unicorn's a perfect name for KP because we rarely ever see him. Yes. Yep, he wins. My other beef. I'm trying to think of my other beef with this. Chat. Their main thing is the Clippers. Well, my other beef with this one is not really a beef, but just out of curiosity, just talking point. Warriors at 8. Now we know the Warriors did have a rough start. They are they're not depleted, but they are not the Warriors that we all remember them to be. To get them into the 8th seed in general is already a feat. Do you think there's a possibility of them being higher than that, or were you just throwing the Warriors in there out of respect?
No. I told everybody that I have those 2 wild picks, and it was the Warriors and the Wizards, and it were my early predictions. Obviously, both of them looked horrendous, but one of them is still staying afloat, and it's the Warriors. Steve Kerr is now saying, Steph, I'm gonna need you to just take all those shots.
Save my career, bro.
There was a stat I think my boy Steven Tillman was telling me the other day that if they took all the attempts away from Kelly Oubre right now, with him on the team, they're like 14th in 3-point efficiency. When you take him off all of his attempts, they're 4th.
That's incredible. Yeah, he's not been good though. He has not been good for the team. But do you think that's just him trying so hard to fill in that role that they need so desperately? Or what do you think the problem with that is? Because Kelly Oubre he was playing really well for Phoenix. So everyone, I mean, myself included, were thinking that he was going to be a perfect fit, perfect slot for that missing spot with Klay Thompson being out, and he has just not been good.
If you ask Phoenix Twitter, they'll all tell you they're not very surprised by what's going on.
Really? I didn't know Phoenix Twitter was a thing.
I didn't know it either. But it's not necessarily that he wasn't making his shots last season.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, all right, he's chucking up 15 shots. About 7 of them are bad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If we can work on that, he's a solid player. He was still making a good chunk of his shots, but there was a lot of them was like, what are we doing here? Why that shot, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, Steph he's such a nice guy. Oh my God. He's nice guy to the bone. And he's never been that person to be like, I'm going to take 30 shots today because I'm going to take 30 shots today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was
never,
never like that. But now since Kerr has made it where it's like, hey man, for us to be successful, we're going to need you to be on ball, you know, a lot more. And I'm going to need you to take more shots. You are our playmaker right now. I can't have Klay come in and be able to give you more space. Draymond's, when he came back, that team all of a sudden knows how to play defense. You got James Wiseman, that's a solid rookie, but he's still learning the game. You're the only person that is the best shooter to ever play the game of basketball. I'm going to need you to shoot. Point blank and period. Put the ball in his hands, and you're just going to have to live with the results. And so far, they had a little bit of run. He had a 60-point game, and, you know, they beat the Clippers recently.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's if bearing no injuries, which I should know better, it's Steph Curry, that team has a possibility of making it as an 8 seed. I wish it would be the Pelicans, but
you don't see it being much higher or lower or much higher. You think it's gonna be 8 seed or out?
No, they still got some dum-dums over there. So
okay, respect. All right, well, one last time for those who have not seen yet, here is Brandon's top or his predictions for the standings of the NBA. So again, yeah, we got the Western Conference as it is, and so I saw people who came in late. The Eastern Conference, he does not have the Wizards at 8. That was my fault. I forgot to put them. He had switched that to the Hawks, so it's the Hawks at 8, not the Wizards. Wizards he does not have in the playoffs. He has the Hawks there. That's my fault. I was typing fast. So no Wizards. It's the Hawks instead. All right. With that being said, now we're going to pull up mine, which they're pretty different. They're not really similar at all. If I can pull that up, coast to coast, and what's the name of mine? There it is, Bob.
Mind you guys, we were struggling with this for quite some time.
Mainly the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Mainly the Western Conference.
Yeah.
All right, but here's mine. This is the CK2K predictions. I have the Lakers up top, the Western Conference. The Clippers at 2, Nuggets at 3. I'm keeping Phoenix in the top 4. So I got Phoenix at 4, Mavericks at 5. I'm putting the Warriors up at 6, Jazz at 7. Ooh. And my dark horse, I'm putting the Spurs slipping into the playoffs at the 8th seed. Eastern Conference, I'm keeping the Sixers up top. I think I like the Celtics at 1, that like you have. But I think I think the Sixers are going to stay up top when healthy, if that happens ever again. But Sixers at top, Celtics in 2nd, Bucks at 3rd, Heat at 4, Pacers at 5, Nets at 6, Magic at 7, and myself as well will have Hawks at 8. I think the Hawks and the Magic are interchangeable. I think I don't know. I still think the Hawks are still trying to figure each other out. There's a possibility that they go hot and then they might jump the Magic. Oh my goodness, a nice scare. The hell, she's laughing around outside my door and freak me out. But I'm giving the Magic the benefit of the doubt because they've been a playoff team for the last few years, and I keep doubting them. So out of respect, I gave them the 7th seed. So yeah, these are my predictions. Brandon, do you have any questions, or do you disagree with my predictions?
What's going on with I get it, I understand, but what's going on with the Mavericks and the Nets, man? Like, what's happening?
What are you talking about? You don't like am I disrespecting their name?
Well, I mean, the Nets don't really have much of a name, but they got some really good players.
So you think that they should be higher than 6?
Yeah, I'll put them at least 5. At least 5.
Nah, I have them where I have them. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, man.
And the same thing with the Mavericks. I know you want that draft pick to be golden. All right.
I'm not putting the Nets might be a little bit out of hate, but the Mavericks one, I'm not budging on that. I don't like the Mavericks team. I don't like it. I love Luka, but I just don't think they have enough oomph to get that to get in the top 4.
Carry them?
I think he can, but that's a lot of carrying to do. He's carrying the Western Conference Knicks over there. That's a lot of carrying to do, bro. That's a lot of carrying to do.
That's the one white boy to do it. Let me tell you. That's
the one. Yeah.
So I don't have problem with where it's just those two that I was like, man, I love Chris and I know Chris, and I don't know if there's a sprinkle.
But I also feel like you just picking on those two because of the reasons. No.
Just because. Yeah.
No, I genuinely
100%.
I'm not okay. Now I'll fully admit I am probably being very, very critical on the Nets. That's probably my hate coming out. That one I'll admit. The Mavericks, no, I stand by it. Like, I mean, I know the Mavericks now are on a nice little 3-game winning streak. They don't have Kristaps back yet. And who knows what's going to happen. Possibly they can go up there and they can be battling for a top 3 spot. I'll give you that. But at the same time, I really think that I think the Lakers and Clippers are going to be at top again. I'm not doubting the Suns. There's one thing I learned from Oklahoma City Thunder and Chris Paul is that the Chris Paul, when he's on a team and now he got a better team, I believe in the Phoenix Suns. I will believe before everyone else is believing. But when it comes to the Mavericks, I'm just not there yet, man. I'm just not there yet. Just not there yet.
Okay. Yeah. And also, not to mention, the Nuggets are pretty high.
Yeah.
I get the Spurs pick, like, because DeMar's been playing like I've said this before. DeMar's playing at an all-star level right now. Problem is he's out west. But the Nuggets, I don't see them that high.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, because they had a very slow start. Very slow start. I think right now in the standings, I don't even know if they're in the playoffs.
They're not. I think they're like number 9 or 10.
Let's find out. Western Conference Nuggets are. Oh my goodness, where are they? Why can't I see them? 10. Yeah, 10. You're right. They're 5-5. Same record as the Knicks.
And like, I get Jokic is the real deal. I'm not gonna dispute that no more.
I know, right? I've been hating on him too. I need to stop.
No, I'm still gonna hate on Jamal Murray because I still don't see it. But anyways, I just don't know if that team is gonna have that from last year again, from the bubble. I don't know if that's gonna carry on. There's nothing that they have done that has made me be like, yep, this team is coming back next year and they're taking the West. There's never a point where I was worried as a Laker fan. Even if I was a Clipper fan, I don't think I should necessarily be worried. And they lost 3-1. So I don't that's just my 2 cents on that.
I respect it. But remember, I'm just shooting for the fences, man. We gotta remember this is the early prediction, so I'm shooting for the fences right now. We get that edit. We get that one edit. And this is my thing. I want to see how, because we've been good with our edits in the mid-season. So I want to see how our edits go this year, because I'm thinking about adjusting the rule that we each only get 2 edits per thing. So like 2 edits for the standings and then 2 edits for the awards. But we've been pretty good with our edits. Like, we really don't change up the entire thing. So I want to see how this year goes. But if it gets too crazy and we change up too much stuff, I'm adjusting the edits. I'm adjusting the sliders.
Sounds good. Yeah, I like it.
Edgar say you can trust the process whenever you want, buddy. CK got us at 1? Question mark. Yeah. I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna keep y'all at 1. Celtics. I really wanted to give it to the Celtics because the combo with. Oh, Bailey, what's good, man?
76ers aren't better than the Celtics.
Oh, that's a fighting words. Get him, Edgar. Get him.
I like that statement, Bailey. I do. I like it.
I will never give the Celtics that much credit. Never.
Look, I don't want to either. But
But I want to be right.
Young bloods, them two young bloods, they they're pretty nice. They're kind of nice.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Just
they're
saying.
solid.
And not to mention the Sixers are out with half of their team.
I know they're gonna drop some games, but they can afford to drop games. That's the thing. They can afford. Oh, no, they can't. No, they can't. They're tied with. You're right. They're tied with Celtics and Pacers. They can't. They can't. They cannot. Yeah, we'll see.
Screw Adam Silver, right? Screw him.
I don't know. Look, that's my early prediction. I saw people were upset about it. I don't have the Blazers in the playoffs for me either. I'm sure I'll change that. But look, man.
I can't. You can't rule out Dame. You can't.
And that's my thought process on the Spurs. I can't rule out Pop. Pop got himself a competent team again. Like his young boys are a little bit older. That's all he needs. So I just feel I don't see myself taking the Spurs out of the playoffs. If anything, I might bump them up. But we'll see. I have to keep the Spurs in for now. But yep, neither of us have my point guard in the playoffs yet again. That's another I could spend a whole hour and a half talking about how much I hate the Pelicans. I could so easily. I don't like the Stan Van Gundy hot. We don't have time for that because we have to make time for the show that everybody's waiting for. Brandon, are you ready? Are you ready? It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. Come one, come all. And yes, no, I did not forget you guys. We will get your standings. We're gonna do that in the next episode. I got you guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and lads. What's it? Ladies and lads. I had it right. It is time for the show that everybody's excited for. It's time for Who He Play For. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the show where Brandon, yes, B. War, the guy to my, well, I don't know where he is on your guys' screen, but the guy to my this way will be guessing where these players play for. Now, normally I used to just put the face out there and he hoped that he knew who it was and then guess the team. Not today. I'm being nice, man. I gave you the names, but at the same time, I feel like you would have known all the names for everybody. Hold on, we gotta get the song playing. Hold on. This is for the audio because the audio listeners, they're not gonna be able to get to see the names. Don't worry, we'll be saying them out loud. But Brandon, cut the song. Hey! Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to welcome to this year's version of Who He Play For, as hosted by your boy CK Host K. Brandon, you're coming in all the way from Anaheim / Oberlin, California. How are you feeling today?
Yeah.
I said, how are you feeling today?
It's a glorious day on Coast to Coast, and I'm gonna be the jockey for today.
The jockey, that's funny. Because you will feel kind of short after this. Bazinga. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those who do not know Who We Play For is, first and foremost, I got to say, where have you been? Basically, what's going to happen is I have 10 players for young Brandon Warren to look through, and he is going to simply guess what team they play for. Simple enough, Brandon. Do you get the rules?
Yep, I remember them.
I'm so excited. All right. Brandon, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
Let's get it started. All right. And we're starting off with Alfonso McKinney. Now, you may remember him from his time with the Golden State Warriors, but he is no longer a Golden State Warrior no more. Brandon, who he play for?
Los Angeles Lakers. Thank you very much. Ching.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
You're right! Alfonso McKinney is a Laker this year. Alfonso McKinney is known for having his favorite ice cream as peanut butter brittle, and that he is a championship chaser because he played with the Golden State Warriors, went with the Cavaliers, realized LeBron wasn't there, and then finally found LeBron with the Los Angeles Lakers. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Alfonso McKinney. 1 point for Brandon Warren. Ladies and gentlemen, good job. Brandon Warren is on the boards. Next up, we have Bryn Forbes. Some say that he is one of the lost descendants of the Brandon Warren clan. Some say that he is a guy that could possibly be getting a championship finally for the first time in his career. Bryn Forbes, Once played for the San Antonio Spurs, but do you think he still plays there? Brandon Forbes. Who he play for?
Plays for Milwaukee Bucks. Final answer.
You're locking that in, Brandon?
Locking it in.
All right, Brent Forbes, Milwaukee Bucks. Is that the right answer? That's correct. That's another good answer. Brandon Warren over here doing his research. Now it said that Brent Forbes' favorite YouTube channel is none other than CK2K. I heard he's an avid fan and his favorite series is the NBA 2K series. He once commented saying, "You do not upload 2K enough, you pleb." Hurt my feelings, but nonetheless, on to the next one. Brandon, I'm giving you one of your favorite players, ex-Los Angeles Laker, a guy that a lot of people really enjoyed, David Nwaba. Brandon, can you say David Nwaba for us one time, please?
David Nwaba.
All right, Brandon, he's not a Laker no more, so quickly let me know who he play for.
He plays for the Rockets.
Say your
Just
final.
saw him play today.
Is that your final answer?
Locking it in.
I'm looking at the chat. Okay, chat's doing pretty good too. You better not be looking at the chat.
I'm not looking at chat.
Let me pause this music. Let me pause this music. You better not be looking at the chat.
I'm not looking at chat. I don't have chat up. Anyways.
Music's back on. All right, David Nwaba, Houston Rockets. Final answer? And he's correct. This 4 for 4? Brandon is out here in these streets answering these questions well. We're getting all of the good. He's getting all the easy, nice home run hitters. Now, this one I thought was going to throw him for a loop until I realized that the Lakers played the Rockets today. I had this already previously planned, and I completely forgot the Lakers played the Rockets. And he's in the rotation. I was so mad. I was like, oh, my God. Whatever. All right. But you got it, yes. It said that David Nwaba is short for David Nwabukamanabli. Don't look it up because it's probably false. David Nwaba, Houston Rockets. On to the next one.
And have a heart attack while trying to recite that.
I bet Delano's saying he's been trying to avoid answering the channel purpose. Yes. Edgar saying you're 3 for 3. Look at Brandon go. All right. Maybe you might go full 10 out of 10. Who knows, man? Next up, Brandon, DeAndre Bembry. This guy was a guy that a lot of people didn't really know about, but if you use him in 2K, he is actually a sniper from the three-point line. Brandon, who he play for?
When you played for Atlanta, did you go to Toronto? I think he went to Toronto. I'm sticking with Toronto. Toronto is my final answer.
Okay. Again, he is correct. Another one. Brandon is on a run. That's right. DeAndre Bembry jumped from the Atlanta Hawks to the Toronto Raptors. Suddenly, the Hawks are a playoff contending team and the Raptors suck. Is Bembry the problem? You tell me. On to the next one. Garrett Temple. Now, don't mind the fact that his name is bolded a little bit more. That's just because I have no idea. But Garrett Temple was a player that played for the Brooklyn Nets last season, and now he is on a team that is probably just as good or maybe a little bit worse. That's not a really good clue. Brandon! Who he play for?
Chicago Bulls.
Their final answer?
That is my final answer.
You are killing it. That is, you are actually doing too well. I don't like this. Why are you doing so well? Why? No, pause the music.
We played against a bunch of these teams.
Oh,
like the hardest one is Wembley.
That's the one thing I should have paid attention to is your stupid schedule. What? Garrett Temple, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is playing for the Chicago Bulls. He is known to be a good two-way player. Blah blah blah. All right, next one. Brandon. This guy is Jared Harper. He was a summer league legend, point guard to some cases and to some people's favorite point guard. He was recently on the Phoenix Suns, but then he got the boot and got picked up by this team. Brandon, Jared Harper. Who he play for?
I'm just now seeing his face. I have no idea. Woo. Man. Do I still have a lifeline phone call?
No, you ain't getting no damn lifelines. You 5 for 5. No lifelines. I think I snatched. I mean, no lifelines for you. Sorry.
Okay. Damn.
The chat is so stupid.
What are they? Oh man, I wish I could
You can't check.
I wish I could see it.
They're not even saying who it is, but they're saying who he looks like.
Let's go with Dallas. I'm shooting. I have no idea. This one I do not know. Dallas. Locking it in.
Dallas Mavericks for Jared Harper. Final answer.
Yep.
And you got one wrong. He is actually the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th point guard for the New York Knicks. The reason why I say he's all of those point guards, because it's said that Jared Harper has the longest wingspan since Mr. Fantastic. Jared Harper has seen some playing time, but not much, because he is, like I said, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th string point guard. Jared Harper, New York Knicks. Finally one wrong.
I got one wrong for you. I'm sorry, New York. I failed you.
Yeah, you definitely did. Anyways. Right, there's the chat. Powell said Brand clearly don't watch any Knicks games. This man right here is fake. All right, next one. Mo Harkless, one-time Knick. It's funny that we mentioned the New York Knicks. Now, I don't remember if you guys played the team that he plays for, but we'll find out right now. So, Brandon, who he play for?
Mo. I feel like we just played against
How? He said Jared Harper's. He said his wingspan longer than his CVS receipt. Oh my god. Sorry, Mo Harkless. Who he play for?
Oh my god, it's a team with red. Oh my god.
I mean, he played for a team with red. Do you think he went back to a team with red?
Yes.
The chat.
Are they going nuts right now?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too crazy.
Miami Heat?
Miami Heat, is that what you said?
Miami Heat?
Final answer?
Final answer.
Miami Heat, he says. Mo Harkless, ex-New York Knick, ex-Clipper, ex-Blazer, current Miami Heat. Look at Brandon. This is a great who he played for Brandon. We might have to bring one back and bring players that are not in the rotation. I'm really pissed off that you know who these players are. All right. Anyways, next up. Oh God, what a picture.
I watched a lot of basketball, y'all.
I can tell, but next up is Robert Lopez, who is someone in the in a rotation for a team that he plays for. Brandon. He currently played with he was playing with his brother, but he said enough of that. I want to be my own man. I'm playing by myself. Robin Lopez. Who he play for?
This one's hard. This one's really tough. Man. Crap. I have no idea. Oh my god. Damn. I really don't know this one.
You want to just shoot for the breeze?
I might have to.
He really looks like Brooke Lopez if you take off his hair, bro. That's crazy. I want to see him cut his hair just one. Yeah, they literally are. I just want to see him cut his hair 1 year. Well, I guess if he did that, his hair would be gone, huh? I'm sorry. Who he play for?
Not Toronto. They got big veins. Washington.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Brandon thinks he went to left the Bucks, a championship contender, to the Washington Wizards. Survey says You're correct. Yes, Robin Lopez is on the Washington Wizards, where he gets 0 play time, and it's a fun fact where he is not accustomed to being alongside a player like Russell Westbrook. He even said that, I don't know how to do this teaming up with Russell Westbrook. I'm really upset that you're getting all these right. Is that the last one? Is that it?
You know what? Remember. It makes sense now because when they were doing the NBA TV special, I do recall him and Russ having a conversation, and they were going.
They did. I'm hating you. All right, we have 2 more. So right now you are 1 for 8. Oh God, 7 for 8. Sorry, 7 for 8. We got 2 more left. Brandon, if I find out you're cheating,
I'm not. I promise you.
All right, I believe you because some of these rotation guys. All right, here we go, Brandon. Last 2. Now I think you're gonna struggle with these ones, but maybe you won't. I don't know anything anymore. Brandon, next up is Terrence Ferguson. He once was a Oklahoma City Thunder player. Maybe he re-signed, but he has a new haircut. Brandon, Terrence Ferguson. Who he play for?
I'm going to just take the clue, and I'm going to say OKC.
You think he re-signed with Oklahoma City? That's a good bet. But is it the truth? Edgar Allan Fro, would you like to tell him? He's a Philadelphia 76er. Is he even in the rotation? Probably not. But Terrence Ferguson cut his hair and he made his way over to Philadelphia to play with the process, where he is no part of the process at all, but he is smiling along the way. Terrence Ferguson. 2 wrong for Brandon. Now, next up was a fan favorite amongst the Knicks. His name is Willie Herman Gomez. Now, he was a part of a trade that got him away from the Knicks and sent him to Charlotte for the last few years of his career. He was a free agent. Did he? Or no, he was not a free agent. He was traded. But is he still with the Charlotte Hornets? Or was he traded away? I just said he was traded. It doesn't matter. Where was he traded to? Brandon, Willie Ramon Herman Gomez. Is Ramon his middle name? I don't know. We'll fact check it later. Brandon, who he play for?
This is another one. I have no idea. Like I am going to be reaching again.
The chat saying Willie's still in the league.
That's another thought. Like I was thinking it was a trick question. Knowing you, trolling master, yeah, you want to do something like that. Could I say Real Madrid, or is that?
If you want, if you want to, you really think he out the league?
I have no idea where this man could be. Where was he traded? To a G League team?
Yes, he was traded from an NBA team to a G League team, Brandon. Yes.
You know how disrespectful that would be.
I would just retire that day. I don't care if I'm 22, 21. I would retire. Nah, F that. I always said that too. Like baseball players that be getting traded for equipment. Nah, I'm retiring after that, bro. Yeah, we traded you for some big gum chew. I'm like, oh, did you? Yeah, I'm done. Cool. Baseball just ain't for me, I guess.
Oh my god. Anyways. Let's go Phoenix. Why not? Let's try it. Phoenix.
The Phoenix Suns. Willie Herman Gomez. Willie Herman Gomez, a Phoenix Sun. Bang! He is with the New Orleans Pelicans. Yes, he was a part of a trade that got him sent there so he can go from one bench in Charlotte with one ball brother to another bench in New Orleans with the other ball brother. Willie Herman Gomez not playing right now. But Brandon, you did really good. You did very good, way better than I expected. I knew you were going to get some of those gimmies, but I didn't think you was going to get all those gimmies. But then you brought up the biggest part. I did not look at y'all's schedule. Because the thing is, some of these were suggested. The Alfonso McKinney one was supposed to be, it was either you were going to get it or you weren't going to get it. You were going to be pissed off. But Brent Forbes,
I know. Okay, I was watching those trick. Warrior teams.
It was a trick question. I just wanted to see. But Brent Forbes, I didn't think you were going to get. Nwaba, I thought you could have got. DeAndre Bembry, I didn't think you were going to get. But no, you went out there and surprised the world. You went out there and surprised the world.
We know of some Hawks fans. Yeah, I know they're out there. And I just remember him talking about DeAndre Bembry, and he insinuated that he's no longer on his team, and that same person has also been talking a lot of smack on how bad Toronto is. So kind of just put 2 and 2 together and got it right. Oh man.
Well,
Let's
look at
do it
you.
again.
7 for 10. Edgar Allan Fro. You got to see. Cool. All right.
Passing.
Well, next time I'm just giving you 2 rotation players. I didn't want you to do that good. You did way too good. Last year, I think you did pretty solid too, man.
I don't think I did this solid.
No, this was your best outing yet. This is definitely
right,
all time. Matter of fact, go ahead. We'll give it a round. But go ahead, chat.
I'll be watching basketball. You know, y'all think I'm only just a ride or die for the Lakers, but you're not wrong. But I enjoy the game of basketball, man. This is why I'm on coast to coast and nobody else is, man. All right, it explains. Chris saw me put in the work watching the games. And he's all like, I need him. I want him on my podcast. It's the reason why I'm here, y'all. It's the reason why I'm here.
Oh my god, yeah, that you got me. That was it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, man, that was who he played for. We gonna do another one. We're gonna do one at the end of the year after some trades or some G League guys get picked up. Oh yeah, we doing another one. So you better be paying attention to every game y'all play.
Look, I pay attention to most of the games that we play, so I feel like I'm very confident. More confident that I stepped into this show. So thank you, host. You know, with the funny voice, I appreciate it, man. But you ain't trolling me no more, okay?
Yeah, look, chat saying speech. Nah, forget you, man. Forget you, man. If someone told me I play like Reggie Bullock, I would retire then and there. God, I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot Ferg was still on my team. See, everybody has that one guy's like, oh dang, he's still there, huh? That's right. But man, you know, I didn't
realize he was still in.
I was gonna give you Taj Gibson, but I was like, nah, he's probably paying attention to the fact that the Knicks brought him back. I was trying to think of somebody.
I had no choice but to see what that Taj got picked up. You know how much Knicks folk I pay attention to. I thought what was really surprising was you threw me that point guard that apparently has orangutan arms.
Yeah, man, Jared Harper's wingspan is ridiculous. That dude he's be standing just perfectly straight, and he already scratching his toes, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
You threw that one in. I would have never guessed it because that's one of your guys' low key. Like the last one I really paid attention to outside of Taj Gibson was what's his name that used to be on Charlotte for forever and did nothing. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Oh, did nothing. He ain't a Nick no more, so I couldn't throw him in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was the last time I paid attention to you guys' free agency pickups outside of Taj.
Well, you know what? We don't want you to pay attention to us anyway, so forget you.
Why not?
Because you're a hater.
Why not? How am I a hater? Am I looking so wrong now? We're 5 and 5. Am I looking so wrong?
I hate you. You said we're 5 and 5? Get out of here. We don't want you.
Are you 5 and 4? Sorry. 5.
No, we're 5 and 5, but you said we. We don't want you.
We. No. I'm like the weird stepchild that occasionally comes.
Nah, and then that can just leave willy nilly and go back with your real love, the Lakers. Nah, we don't want you. Nah.
Y'all the side piece, man. Y'all can relate. Y'all can understand.
On that note, nope, I'm wrapping it there. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for coming through to another episode of Coast to Coast. Yeah, a lot of fun. Who we play for. Be on thinking about your standings for next week. We'll be going over standings, awards, this, that, and the third. But everybody stay safe, man. Seriously, please go out there, practice being safe, social distancing, wash your hands, all of that, this, that, and the third. Come on now. 2021, want to be better than 2020 for sure. All right. It's been your boy CK. Follow my boy Wars World everywhere on Instagram, Twitter. Find his YouTube channel because apparently big things is coming. That's what I like to hear. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We out of here. Audio only version. You know where to find it. Everywhere where you can find a podcast. And yes, sir. We're out of here. Coast to coast. Done for another week. See you guys next week. We out.
Knicks, don't be a side piece. Be a main course.
Okay.